this is the pictures that we are seeing are of the old building still, and this is about living one more moment of nostalgia. We saw the debate panning out yesterday, and now we are seeing in pictures. Yes, so Prime Minister, first we have the pictures of the Prime Minister arriving. We saw a speaker waiting there. I think he would be received by the speaker. And he's accompanied, Prime Minister is accompanied by Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi. And this is the central the central part of the Parliament complex where photo op is to happen. All the members of Parliament already in place. The Prime Minister has arrived. This is a huge photo op. And typically it happens during every Parliament's life. One photo is taken of all the members. I believe every year, but this is a special, even more special occasion, Suresha, and because the fact that this is going to be the last photo op of all members of Parliament with the old Parliament building in its backdrop. From here on, they would move to the next one, to the new building. And this photo op, in fact, after this, there is another ceremony left where in the central hall, the Speaker is hosting lunch for all the members of Parliament. Again, these are essentially nostalgia moments for all those who have been associated with the Parliament in any manner. Remember the speech the Prime Minister gave yesterday. He recalled the contributions of everyone, from the watch and watch staff to the security to the journalists who have been covering, to old members, new members, to members who have been there for the first time, members who had 3 or ministers. He recalled how former Prime Minister H.D. Gowda came to the Parliament this time on a wheelchair, the kind of commitment that everyone involved with parliamentary democracy has shown. Prime Minister even going back to acknowledge the role of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and his Tryst with Destiny speech. So I think, and then we have seen other members of Parliament also recalling their own share of memories. We see in the pictures of Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar arriving, who's ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha as well. And as per protocol, the arrival has happened. Everyone in place now. It seems the photo op going to take place. All 750 plus members of Parliament. Remember, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha together. And this is a big one. And the reason why this was turned into a special occasion is that because from the old to the new is a huge transition. This new Parliament was in the making for at least 2 decades in terms of the thought that we need a new Parliament building. I just saw Piyush Goyal, Union Minister of Commerce, getting up and looking at somewhere, and it seems something has happened because Union Home Minister Amit Shah has also gotten up, looking at one side. And is it some issue that needs to be sorted? Prahlad Joshi, Parliamentary Affairs Minister, also walking to one side as everyone looks on. We have to see whether is it just some procedural issue, some arrangement issue, or something has happened. It's really sweltering hot also. Remember, post-monsoon, it gets humid, and everyone's waiting for the final photo to be taken, typically a 10-minute procedure. It seems something has happened because I've seen 3 ministers walking to one side, Piyush Goyal, Amit Shah, and Prahlad Joshi. Let's see if it's sorted and they're back. No, they are still on that side. I think it's still being worked out. But then, yes, so moment of nostalgia and moment of record for every Parliament present there, like it happens, everyone asks, where were you when 1947 happened? Yeah. Now it seems the ministers are coming back.
Oh, yes, absolutely, Abhishek. A sense of nostalgia, like you rightly mentioned, and we are watching the pictures live on our screens from the Parliament complex because all the MPs now preparing for a photo op. This again is an important day as we are all set to move to the new Parliament and the new Parliament building that will be functional during the special session that we are already watching. Let's also understand, Abhishek, a lot of expectations in that sense because of the fast-paced developments that were witnessed last evening after the cabinet meeting that went on for 1.5 hours, and most importantly, the unanimous nod that was given to the Women's Reservation Bill and its passage. And then again, we've already seen responses from the opposition where where the Congress, BRS, TMC left rendering unconditional support, saying that this is a long-standing change that was much required. So a group photo at the Sansad that is happening, and certainly a day that will go down in history for very many decades to come, because this is the new Parliament building that will now capture all the live proceedings of the Parliament, where all our parliamentarians will be seated. We've seen the kind of politics that ensued over the new Parliament and its construction. However, the success that it saw when it was inaugurated, and the pride that every Indian takes in the new Parliament building. Of course, we also heard from the Prime Minister yesterday, where he not just mentioned the momentous moments spent in the old Parliament building through these 75 years, and the fact that it is built with a lot of hard work. He also mentioned the longest serving MPs, the youngest MPs, and what have been the most landmark moments that have been witnessed in the old Parliament. But also the new Parliament building that is all set. Abhishek, I believe you're with us. We continue to stay with these pictures. A group photo that is being captured, a group photo certainly will go down in all the history books from here on, as the new Parliament building is set to be fully functional and where the proceedings will happen.
Well, yes, Surisha. I mean, this is definitely a momentous occasion. Not just this photo op, because that happens typically every year, so that all the members of Parliament have a souvenir or a memory of their stay in Parliament and the time they have spent as members. But I think what is more important is the transition from the old to the new. The new building, which before I got disconnected, I was mentioning had been in the making for at least 2 decades, if not more. And there were issues, despite the nostalgia, despite the heritage value of the old Parliament building. It was sort of living on extended life. There were structural issues, there were technology-related issues, there were space-related issues, and that's why this thought had been lingering in the mind of the parliamentarians and the governments since at least 2 decades that you need a new Parliament building. And a committee was set up by Meera Kumar, who was a speaker from the Congress party, and subsequently ultimately it fell upon the Modi government because a decision had to be taken, and he needed a certain decisiveness to come out of the nostalgia and the nostalgia-induced inertia to be able to do this. And that's, I think, what the Modi government has done. Prime Minister Modi personally investing in the decision, supervising the minutiae of the design aspects and the Vastu aspects and the structural aspects, the tech aspects, the security aspects. He has been fully involved in the process of the design of the Parliament. And so now we are seeing a day today when the ultimate move from the old to the new is happening. The new Parliament itself is an exemplar of how to integrate architecture with utilitarianism, and how to integrate most modern of technology with aesthetics. So I think it's going to be coming together of. In a way, it's a reflection of where India really stands today in terms of its achievements, in terms of its can-do spirit, in terms of its go-getter attitude. The new Parliament building is a marker of that. And for all these members of Parliament to be moving today, walking down from the old to the new would be, in a way, a picture of India moving from the old to the new with very confident steps. I'm told Prime Minister would be walking with a copy of the Constitution in hand. He always uses these occasions to sort of be rich on symbolism and substance as well. So I think we saw substance coming in his speech yesterday when he acknowledged the role and involvement of everyone from independence till today in terms of what they have contributed to making India a strong and vibrant democracy that it is. And of course, it is hoped that when the move to the new happens, it's going to be taken to the next level. Like it happens, if you move from an old house to the new, you have so much of ambition going into that project. Similarly, if you move from the old Parliament to the new, it's about national ambition to look forward to 2047 Charter Roadmap, and that's what the debate and discussion has been about. And hopefully, some of the discussion that happened yesterday in terms of nostalgia and looking back would spill over to the new building and would be actually forward-looking as to what we should be doing together as a society and a nation. And members of Parliament and journalists and media persons and security personnel, everyone, the engineers and the doctors of the society and the teachers, to come together to move ahead in one direction in unison with the ultimate objective of making India a developed society. So these are pictures essentially of a nation talking to itself, a nation having a dialogue with itself. With these buildings, old and the new, acting as a prop.